right, everybody, welcome back. It's your old fellas here from the Hail Ming Power Hour, and we've got this new little project I think we're wanting to do here, and it's called Movie Flash. And we're just going to talk about movies that could be good, could be bad, but it's going to be short regardless of what it is.
That's right. It's just a flash about the movie.
Yeah, hence the name, Movie Flash.
In case you didn't catch that, we don't think you didn't catch that. We're not trying to say that you don't infer those kind of things. We're just putting it out there.
And it's just meat and potatoes. We're not doing all the normal things we normally do. This is just going to be kind of an in and out kind of service for you because we know you like that.
Yeah, no time for the old in out and out right now.
That's right.
Just came to read the meter.
Speaking of which, we're going to kick this thing off with a pretty bad movie from 1998 called Milo. Yeah.
Milo. Don't get confused with Milo Notice, the other bad movie with a puppy and a kitten and Dudley Moore's voice. No, we're talking about Milo, 1998 slasher film about a kid and a rain slicker.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that is one of those screeners that Daddy and I got to watch back in the day. We took it to my house from work and we watched this movie, and I think it's kind of what made us kind of pull towards this, because it's kind of an old memory for us. But we weren't impressed then, and I think we're about as impressed now.
Right. So, the good news is you don't have to spend a dime. If you want to go to YouTube, the entire thing's on, and nobody's going to pay any attention to pulling it down because nobody's going to make any money off this film.
Yeah. So you got a story about this demented child killer, supposedly. You don't get that impression first. He's kind of a creepy kid, and he takes a group of girls. So we're talking like, I don't know, 9-10-year-old girls. Yeah,
schoolgirls. Just, they're going to meet Milo. He's going to meet him on his bike, and he's going to ride him out to see the jars, right? Because at his house, for whatever reason or another, he's got these fetuses in formaldehyde. And he's like, now that I've showed you the jars, because he talks like that. He's like, now that I've shown you the jars.
Yeah, he talks like Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw.
But anyway, he shows him the jar, and he's like, now you have to play doctor or whatever, because his dad's a doctor.
That was the deal.
He's got the whole thing, and he kills one of them.
Yep.
I will say that it does a pretty decent job of like building suspense in a few moments, and this being one of them. The girl's on the table, and you're like, is he gonna kill her? Is he gonna just molest her, or what's going on here? And but then the scalpel comes down, and it's the first killing in the movie. And
he's like checking her. He goes, "Oh no, something's wrong. Time for the scalpel."
Right. So then you follow these girls into adulthood, and one girl in particular, you kind of see that she wakes up from the nightmare that is the beginning, and she's never really gotten past it. She's a substitute teacher, and she finds out one of those girls died. So she goes to the funeral.
Yeah, she's going back to the funeral, but she's also coming back and taking over her job as the school teacher in her own hometown. So it's kind of a weird way to bring the story back. It's almost like they're trying to do the It thing, right? It attacked them when they were kids, and now they're adults, and they still have the same phobias.
And everybody has bad acting from here on out. The principal's like, "Oh, she was very well loved, but you seem to have a lot of experience. So I guess you can be there for the kids, because the kids are really broken up." And the kids are like, "We're all broken up." And it's real ham-handed. And let's just say you only knew 5 keys on a piano and you wanted to play them over and over. Well, this is the job for you, because that's what the first whole half of this movie is. It's like 5 keys on a piano played while people think they see Milo.
Man, they purchased this one soundtrack, and they got their whole $4 out of it, because they play this thing from beginning to end of this movie. It never stops.
So the kids and the teacher, they're all they keep having these run-ins with Milo, who I don't know how everybody doesn't see him, because he's a kid on a bike with
a yellow
cards in his suit, wearing a yellow jacket.
I mean, it's a bicycle from, I don't know, the 1960s. I mean, it's not like everybody has one of these.
Right. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? I didn't see anything. Like, you obviously weren't looking, you know.
I mean, all the kids see him. I mean.
And the kids kind of hate her and they kind of like her, but that's not really
It don't
any
matter.
part of the plot.
What does matter is there's a kid in the class that brings a picture to school of her when she was a little girl, and on the back it says, Milo loves Claire, or Milo and Claire, or whatever. So it starts to, where did you get this picture? So it turns out this kid is not necessarily in cahoots with the so-called Milo, if he's real or not. But because supposedly he died. He drowned.
He drowned trying to swim across the river, and everyone knows he can't swim.
Yeah, but he's a little engine that could, though. He's going to give it a shot. Hey, I know I can't swim, but I'm going to try.
He's the little engine that couldn't, apparently. So then you got Vincent Chevalier, who shows up as the kid's dad. And he's like, everyone knows that my son died, because he's all Vincent Chevalier about it. And they're like,
right.
He's like, no, he didn't, because she's getting bold now. You know, her friends keep dropping dead. One of them gets run over by a bicycle. You know, the other one gets like caught in a house, and he shows up in the house while they're watching old reel-to-reel movies of them as kids, where Milo shows up. And there's pretty good cinematography of that birthday party.
I tell you what. That's actually a pretty good jump scare, because you're focused on the video screen and you're watching him, because it shows him off in the distance and all the little girls run out there. Then it shows him walking up on the screen. Then all of a sudden, Milo jumps to the screen and starts stabbing the woman. Ah!
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, it caught me off guard. It's like, hey, that was actually a pretty decent jump scare.
Yeah, so you know, Milo's like, hey, I'm right here, and I'm gonna
lick my plate
for your old friend, you know. So,
yeah, the voice they picked is like the worst, man. It's like,
man.
Like I said, it's like Bill Moseley and Beavis and Butthead all combined into one thing.
And you know, I guess if there's any reason to watch it, there's the janitor. He's pretty cool.
Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch, man.
Oh yeah, but I was not familiar. I just know him as Mr. Kelso from Milo.
Hey, he's also the pimp in I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. The one that gets up and says, through rain, sleet, and snow, you better have my money. Yeah, so he's like, he's a 70s actor that was always portrayed as a pimp in just about everything. So
I'm just remember Keenan Ivory Wayans as Rambo and the guy with the stacked heels that have the aquariums in them.
That's him.
Okay.
That's him. Yeah.
That's him. Anyway, he's pretty good, you know, because he's the whole damn kids guy, right?
Yeah.
He's like, damn kids. So he's kind of the foil for the kid killer, because he already hates kids.
Yeah. And even the teacher, when she comes back and he's like, yeah, I remember you as a little girl. You used to come in here and get mud all over my floors.
Right. He does not like. So here we go. We go in the future. The kid still hasn't aged, because he was alchemied into existence from a fetus by the abortion doctor that it was his dad, Vincent Chevalier, and so he never grew. He just apparently got an old man voice that he's always had. And
but you would have thought he would have moved up to a car or something, though. You know, just saying.
I don't know what to think, man. Like he waited like 25 years to start killing people.
I thought the same thing. It's like he waited till this one girl comes back to town, and then he decides to start killing all the people that he hated. It's just like,
and supposedly he killed her friend because, you know, he wanted to marry her because, you know, he's had this kid fixation, but none of that matters. So here's what you got. Like, so let's just say in Phenomena or Creepers, you know, you got like the last 10 minutes is just like intense. It's the same setup with none of the delivery.
Right. Yeah.
The lady ends up in the house, and Vincent Chevalier is like, "Oh, I'm not really helping you. I'm gonna sedate my kid, and I'm gonna hurt you," or whatever he's gonna do. And then the kid kills his dad.
Yeah.
And there's like a chase around the house. right?
Yeah.
But the kid's not scary. I mean, like she beats him with stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like, he comes out from under the table and he's like, looks like he got an oopsie. And she just like starts whacking him with something heavy. And I don't know why she stops.
Right. Well, I mean, even Huggy Bear, he goes in there, or what's his name?
Mr. Kelso?
Kelso.
Oh,
I mean, he just picks Milo up and just throws him against the wall. I mean, it's like, why isn't somebody doing this beforehand? Why do you let a little guy come in your bedroom and just start climbing on you and stabbing you, and you're just going, when you can just knee him?
He's kind of like Chucky, except at least Chucky can pretend to be a toy and be hidden in plain sight. This is a kid. It's like Fred Savage wearing a raincoat.
Yeah.
Driving around in a bike that makes extra noise.
He's drawing attention to himself.
See this kid,
right?
Hit him with your car.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's that thing of you don't know that it's really him, and they think that the teacher's going insane because she had some mental issues back in the day because of the whole trauma.
Right.
So nobody believes her that it's real. But when they do see it, it's too late, and Milo kills them all, and you're just like, yeah, you're stupid. So
I guess maybe they were going for like the Isaac from the Children of the Corn thing, with his voice. Hey, don't you have a kiss for your old friend? Yeah. But so she's end game. She's been chased around the house. She's crawling toward a subterranean window that just opens up, and he grabs her ankle, of course, because she never finishes the deal. And so she just stabs him with a big piece of wood, and it's over.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, why didn't somebody do this all along? I mean, Huggy Bear tries to drown him in the bathtub, but nobody ever just like confines his arms. It's like,
because he's just a kid.
Yeah, you just grab his arms and hold him, and then he can't do anything. I mean, so I don't know. It's a movie that really tried, but it just failed. Did it? I think it did try. I think it was really. I think the idea behind it was better than what came out on film. So because they were really playing on. You just named it. It's very much child's play. It's very much taking the story of childhood and then bringing it back to adulthood and having the same fears. I really think that's what they were going for, and they just didn't. But I mean, they were legitimately trying to make a scary movie. Of course, this is in the 90s, which, there's not a lot to pick from that you can go, that's pretty good.
It was trying to find the right balance of things, and just failed. There are lots of scenes that take too long. We just got through talking about Night of the Creeps, which is just kind of bombarding you with stuff. This was, on the other hand, like scenes that should have taken a quarter of the time they took. They decided to draw it out and play a lot of piano music. Right.
Yeah, man, that soundtrack, dude, I'm telling you. By 8 minutes in the movie, I was like, are they going to play anything different than this same little pattern?
Right. And like later they kind of add a little crescendo to it or something to give it some emotion. But like, I guess they were trying to establish it like the Halloween theme or something,
Exactly. That's, again, you can tell what they were pulling from with all this stuff. So here's what I think about it. If you're a diehard horror fan and you feel like you have to watch everything as a completist, I think you should still check it out. Again, it's for free on YouTube. It's not very good. It's shot pretty decent. Some of the A&R stuff is kind of off. Sometimes you can hear people talk. Sometimes you can't.
Sometimes somebody's mic'd up and the other person, you can hear the hollowness of them just talking in the room. Like,
but it's drastic.
We'll just use the same mic for this one.
Yeah.
Like, even though it's
really drastic because they'd be like maybe 8 feet from each other, and one is extremely loud and the other one you can barely hear anything they say. So, it's got its problems. It's not really a good movie, but I'm kind of glad we went back and watched it again just so we can say, hey, remember Milo? Yeah, me either.
So, for my take on it is, in this day and age of access, you can find something better for an hour and a half of time. We liked it because we didn't have a whole lot of access to whatever we wanted to watch, so we watched whatever we could get. And we got this, and so for that reason, we have a bond on it. but I wouldn't waste an hour and a half.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't even watch it in fast forward.
Ooh,
no.
Man. Yeah, it's not great. Again, I think the concept is better than what we got. So you could have took this and made it better. They just didn't. So there you go. If somebody's looking for a movie to remake, check out Milo. But I would just get the script. Don't watch the movie.
Pitch the script too. Just take the name. I want to remake Milo, meaning I want to make a movie called Milo.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
It's about a Bigfoot. All right, folks, that's it for this very first episode of Movie Flash. We'll see you next time.